This is not just a story of betrayal. This is a story of masks, of shadows, of a friendship that should have died, but refused to, and of a woman who discovered that sometimes the greatest enemy isn't the one who stabs you in the back. It's the one who holds your hand while doing it. In the village of Adire, there lived a woman named Amara. She was the kind of woman other women envied, not because of her beauty, though she was lovely, but because she had everything. A successful fabric business, a husband named Chidi who loved her, and most precious of all, a best friend named Nkiru. Nkiru and Amara had been inseparable since childhood. They'd braided each other's hair under the mango tree. They'd wept together when Nkiru's mother died. They'd danced together at Amara's wedding. People called them the two heads of one body. Where you saw one, you'd find the other. "You're more than my friend," Amara would often say, squeezing Nkiru's hand. "You're the sister my mother never gave me." And Nkiru would smile, that slow, beautiful smile, and reply, "I would die before I let anyone hurt you." But here's what no one tells you about masks. The most beautiful ones are the hardest to remove. 3 years into Amara's marriage, something changed. Or perhaps nothing changed at all, and that was the problem. Chidi started coming home late. His shirt smelled of perfume that wasn't Amara's. His phone buzzed with messages he'd read in the bathroom, door locked. But when Amara questioned him, his explanations were smooth as palm oil. "Business meeting, my love. The traffic was terrible. You know how demanding my boss is." Amara wanted to believe him. Love makes fools of us all, doesn't it? But doubt is a seed that once planted grows roots in the darkest soil of your mind. So she did what any desperate wife would do. She is called Nkiru. "I think Chidi is having an affair," Amara whispered over the phone, her voice cracking like dry earth. There was a pause, a long, terrible pause. Then Nkiru's voice came through, dripping with concern. "Oh, Amara, no. Chidi loves you. You're imagining things. Marriage is hard, that's all. Let me come over. We'll talk." And come over she did. Night after night, Nkiru would hold Amara while she cried. She'd stroke her hair and say soothing things. She'd even offer to speak to Chidi, to find out what's really going on. "I'll handle this," Nkiru promised. Her eyes were sincere. "Trust me." And Amara did trust her, because who else could she trust if not her sister, her shadow, her second self? But here's the first twist you need to understand. Nkiru never had to find out what was going on. She already knew, because she was what was going on. For 3 years, Nkiru had been sleeping with Chidi. It started innocently, if betrayal can ever be innocent. Chidi had come to Nkiru seeking advice about Amara's mood swings. One conversation led to another. One touch led to another. And before either could stop, or perhaps they never wanted to stop, they were tangled in sheets that smelled of guilt and stolen afternoons. But here's where the story gets darker. Nkiru didn't just sleep with Chidi. She performed friendship with Amara. She'd comfort her in the evening, then meet Chidi after midnight. She'd help Amara choose anniversary gifts for Chidi, then accept her own gifts from him the next day. She'd listen to Amara's fears about losing her husband, then whisper promises to that same husband under moonlight. It was a masterpiece of deception, a ballet of lies. Yet even Nkiru didn't know the full truth, because there was someone else watching, someone who'd been watching from the very beginning, someone who knew everything. On the morning of Amara's 4th wedding anniversary, A letter arrived at her shop. No return address. No name. Just words written in a shaky hand. Your husband has been unfaithful for 3 years. But that's not the worst part. The woman he's been with comes to your house. She eats your food. She holds your hand while you cry about him. She calls you sister. Check the red cloth in your husband's car. Check the earring under your bedroom cushion. Then ask yourself, who wears red? Who has missing earrings? And who has keys to your home? Amara's hands trembled so violently the paper fluttered like a trapped bird. It couldn't be. It couldn't. But curiosity is crueler than hope. That evening, while Chidi showered, Amara searched his car. There, tucked behind the passenger seat, was a red head wrap. The same shade Nkiru had worn 3 days ago when she'd come over to check on Amara. Amara's stomach twisted. She ran inside, lifted the bedroom cushion, and there it was, a small golden earring, the same design as the ones Nkiru wore every day. Except Nkiru had mentioned losing one somewhere. The world tilted. The walls breathed, and Amara understood with terrible clarity that the enemy had been inside the gates all along. Amara could have screamed, could have thrown them both into the street, but she was smarter than that. Pain had made her sharp. So she invited Nkiru over for dinner. A special dinner, she said, to thank her for being such a good friend. Nkiru arrived wearing white, the colour of innocence. Chidi sat at the table unaware. And Amara served food with hands that no longer shook. "I want to make a toast," Amara said, raising her glass. "To friendship, to loyalty, to the people who stand by you no matter what." Nkiru smiled and raised her glass. "To us. Forever." "Forever," Amara repeated, her eyes like glass. "Tell me, Nkiru, how long is forever? 3 years or longer?" The smile froze on Nkiru's face. Chidi's fork clattered to his plate. "I found the red cloth," Amara continued. Her voice was eerily calm. "I found the earring. But you know what I found most interesting? The letter I received didn't come from an enemy. It came from someone who wanted to save me." She placed the letter on the table. "And I realized something. You two have been so careful, so clever. But someone else knew. Someone else saw. And that person couldn't stay silent anymore." Here's where the story takes its sharpest turn. The letter hadn't come from a stranger. It had come from Chidi's mother. Mama Chidi had known about the affair for months. She'd watched her son destroy his marriage, watched Nkiru destroy her friendship, and she'd said nothing, hoping they'd come to their senses. But when they didn't, when the charade continued, she'd made a choice. Not to expose them publicly, not to cause a scandal, but to give Amara the truth so she could choose her own path. "I raised my son better than this," Mama Chidi had written at the bottom of the letter, in words Amara only saw later. "But I raised no daughter. You deserve better than both of them." When Amara revealed this, both Chidi and Nkiru collapsed into apologies, tears, excuses. But Amara stood tall, and she said something that would be remembered in Adire for generations. "I don't hate you because you betrayed me. I hate you because you made me doubt myself. You made me feel crazy. You held my hand while poisoning my water. That's not betrayal. That's evil." She looked at Nkiru. "You called yourself my sister. But sisters don't do this. Sisters don't smile while you bleed." Then she looked at Chidi. "And you. You're not even worth my anger anymore." Amara divorced Chidi. She cut off Nkiru completely. And she rebuilt her life, not with bitterness, but with the fierce determination of a woman who'd walked through fire and decided to become the flame. Chidi and Nkiru eventually tried to make a relationship work, but it crumbled within months. Built on betrayal, it had no foundation. They discovered what all cheaters eventually learn. When trust is the price of love, poverty follows. As for Mama Chidi, she became Amara's greatest ally. Because sometimes family isn't blood. It's the person who tells you the truth when everyone else feeds you lies. This story teaches us: 1. Betrayal doesn't always come from enemies. Sometimes it comes wearing the face of friendship, speaking words of love, holding your hand while twisting the knife. 2. Trust your instincts. When something feels wrong, it usually is. Don't let anyone convince you that your reality isn't real. 3. The truth will always surface. You can bury it, dress it up, smile over it, but eventually, it will claw its way to light. 4. Healing isn't about revenge. It's about choosing yourself. It's about walking away from people who treat your heart like a playground. And finally, the people who truly love you won't make you doubt yourself. They won't gaslight you. They won't perform loyalty. They'll live it. So when you look at the people around you, the ones who call you friend, who say they'd die for you, who know your secrets and hold your tears, ask yourself this: are they your shelter? Or are they the storm pretending to be shelter? Because Amara learned the hard way that sometimes the most dangerous person in your life isn't the one who hates you. It's the one who claims to love you while sleeping with your husband for 3 years. The end.